Hi, it's Manda again. Today I'm going to take you through number 3 on the 6 swift shifts. Told you that gets easier to say. PDF, the free PDF that you probably got hold of. If you didn't, have a look below, the link's there. Free document illustrating some ideas around panic, calming it down, helping you through those really anxious and stressful moments. And the more you practice these, the better your results will be. If I told you to go out and run a marathon tomorrow, you wouldn't be very good at it if you haven't put in some training. So panic needs to be seen as something just as important, almost, like physiotherapy. Nobody goes to see a physiotherapist 1 month and gets told, okay, for your flat feet, you need to be raising your feet up and down 3 times a day for 6 raises. And then they go back in like a month's time and say, oh, there's no difference. Well, have you done the exercises? No, I haven't. So you can't really expect the difference. I think people often take exercises for the physical body really seriously. And, you're in such a horrible situation of panic because it's a terrible, terrible thing to cope with, that you need to apply the same mentality to exercises for panic as you do for exercises for something that was physiotherapy. Hope that makes sense and feels helpful. I'm not trying to be bossy, but I think it's a really interesting way to look at it. Treat it like it's physio. Regularly practice these things, even when you're not in a state of panic. You don't wait for your hernia to really give you a problem before you do your squeezing exercises, for example. You do them, as a regular thing. So today we're going to do the number 3. I've already said on previous videos, and I'll say it again, that number 1 is to be woven throughout. Anytime there's any hint of panic, and when there isn't, you need to say to yourself, panic isn't something that is here to distress me. Panic's my body simply getting overstimulated. Panic's my body trying to do me a favour, but it's gone beyond a favour now. It's really unhelpful. But I appreciate that it's supposed to be helpful. So that switch, that mental switch to accepting that it's not a huge catastrophe, even though it feels like one, is really helpful. So please keep weaving number 1 in, no matter which of the other 5 you choose as your favourites. Keep number 1 as an ongoing thing. So as I said, today's number 3. Now number 3 is all about the breathing. In the document, I've given the example of square breathing, and it's called square breathing because it's a really simple structure. It's a 4 by 4 by 4 by 4, as in you breathe in for 4, count the 4, hold for 4. It's hard to hold when you're trying to talk. Breathe out for 4. Wait for 4. In, hold, breathe, wait. Now, if that's uncomfortable and you don't like it, you can change it. Change it to 3. In for 3, hold for 3, out for 3, wait for 3. It's very flexible. It doesn't matter at all. But there's something about that slowing down of the breathing that really helps the vagus nerve system, that really helps to put you back into the rest and digest when you've been put into the panic, hyper-aroused system. So that's the one that's on the sheet, the square breathing. Let's have a little go. We're doing it as 4. So in, hold, out, wait, in, hold, out, wait. So that's a very calming kind of breathing. There's also a very calming breathing, which is a little bit different than that, not square breathing. It's got various names through various traditions, but it's a simple breath where you inhale for shorter than you exhale. So again, you can choose the numbers that suit you. You could perhaps inhale for 4, wait for 2, Exhale for 6. Inhale for 4. Wait for 2. Exhale for 6. And because we're exhaling for longer than we're inhaling, this resets the body, calms the body, lowers blood pressure, etc., lowers all of our hyperarousal. So that's a really useful breathing exercise. So you can do these without much kind of publicity, is that the word? You can do them quite subtly, that's what I'm trying to say. So you don't need to announce to everybody around you, oh my goodness, I'm feeling a bit panicky, I'm going to have to do a breathing exercise. You can simply, oh my goodness, okay, breathe it. Doesn't need to be especially noticeable. It should be something that you can incorporate. So those are a couple of breathing exercises. As I say, the one on these 6 swift shifts is the square breathing. But you can really find any exercise that suits you in terms of breathing. The main important and positive thing about it is that when we're in a moment of panic, what we're usually doing is tightening our breathing, quickening our breathing, getting really uncomfortable with our breathing. Because we're getting ready to fight or run away from something. Our body thinks that we are on emergency, red alert, action required, got adrenaline pumping around, and it's this kind of thing. So if we purposely and intentionally choose a different kind of breathing than that which the panic encourages, we are both resetting the body on that physical vagus nerve level, but we're also sending a very clear signal in the language of the body. You know, it's not in German, English, or French, it's in body, whatever that might be in those other languages, le corps in French. So we're sending that message in body-ish, saying, I'm safe. I can breathe really calmly because I'm safe. Or even if I can't quite manage to breathe calmly, I intend to. You know, I'm going to kind of put in the counting as though I'm managing to breathe nice and calmly, and maybe it will come if I put in the counting and do it in that pattern. And this is really important because your body was thinking that you were in fight or flight. It was thinking you had to run away from a woolly mammoth just then, or a great big tiger, or I don't know, a bandit, some kind of threat. And if you were genuinely faced with that threat there in the external world, would you be going, oh, I think I'm just going to breathe to this count, nice and slowly, I'm going to take my time over breathing out and then in. No, you would never, ever do that. If you were genuinely in an emergency where you needed to take action, you wouldn't do it. So that's why the breathing one is so helpful. So whichever breathing exercise suits you, and you know, you might prefer different ones at different times, that's fine. The only one I would say is don't do the faster types of breathing. You can go on some courses where they teach you how to get really psyched up and ready for action, how to like achieve and perform. And those sometimes use exactly the opposite of what I've taught you there, where you might inhale for longer and exhale for shorter, or do it like a panting kind of motion. Those are for times when you need something a bit different. So other than that, as long as you're either breathing in and out for the same kind of time and putting in rests, or breathing out for longer, it will help to reset your system. So that's point number 3 on our 6 swift shifts. And I really hope that's helpful. If you need these 6 swift shifts, look down below, it's there. And I'll see you next time.